Comment on a post I did the other day just killed me. My gynecologist has just advised me that a return to running is not good for my pelvic floor and prolapse, and I'm feeling deflated. So many questions. Obviously, I know nothing about this person. I don't know stage of prolapse, birth history, prior history, genetics, otherwise. I don't know any of that. What I will say is that's very standard advice if it were, 2001 when I first started practicing in pelvic health. We are so much further than that now. And I think if you're hearing that from your provider, if you can take a step back from the emotion and just look at, where society's gone, where science has gone, where our clinical practice has gone. There's been a lot of change. We have more women running in pregnancy and postpartum. We have guidelines and systematic reviews and things saying, hey, these are where the gaps are. We have women running. We have women with pelvic floor issues like prolapse and leakage. We need to find a pathway forward. And what I can tell you clinically, because we have this from Delphi studies are kind of speaking to all of us who are in clinical practice and have this expertise, is, we're treating these patients. And I think what's really hard is, and again, we'll go 100,000 foot here on information and misinformation and understanding research and randomized control trials. We will get to that. But until then, there are women who want to exercise. There are women who want to run. There are women who want to run and exercise who have prolapse and leakage. And what are we going to do in the meantime before we have the randomized control trial? And again, what we're doing in clinical practice is we're not saying, nope, sorry, you can't run, because guess what? If I say that, you're not going to listen to me anymore and we're done. So we haven't done that. And we are establishing slowly kind of understanding patterns and pathways and things like that to be able to figure out, okay, with your prior medical history, with your genetic history, with your birth history, with your current status with you sitting in front of me, what is the likelihood that if we move forward to get you back to running, you can do that? And the answer is every person, again, and this is where individualized care comes, I can have a good sense of your likelihood depending on all of those things, but you're an N of one. I don't know, you don't know until we try. So why are we shutting this down from the very beginning when that GYN doesn't know? And here's the thing too, let's go worst case scenario. Let's go mom's done severe prolapse, anatomical, symptomatic, the whole thing. Let's say it's grade 3, grade 4. Let's say she gets it repaired. We don't have the data to say, no, she shouldn't run post-surgery. And I've got more and more clients now that are getting repairs after hysterectomies, all sorts of different pelvic surgeries that want to get back to activity. And we don't have data to say yes or no. But what we can do is extrapolate and say, all right, well, if we have strength, if we're managing pressure, if we're kind of doing all these things, let's see how far we can get. So again, why are we shutting things down when we don't know? Let's see how far we can get. And there is that possibility that with this particular person, gosh, we might only get so far and you may be too symptomatic and maybe we need to pursue a pessary or surgery or things like that. But to do it before you even try. And again, this is where it gets personal for me, because this has literally been 25, 26 years of practice that has evolved. And I'm like, I can do so much more now. Let me try. Let's see how far we can go. Let's see what we can do together. But then also as a mom that, when I had my oldest 14 years ago, had leakage symptoms, had the beginning prolapse symptoms that got worse after my second. So that would have been, almost 12 years ago now. We didn't have any pathways forward. And it was like, all right, just run and see how it goes. And that was shitty too. Like, I was not willing to take what we knew as PTs at that point, which was like, let's see go run, see how it goes. Okay, we'll do your Kegels. Like, that wasn't working. And I wasn't ready to leave running. I wasn't willing to accept that. And that's where, again, it's so incredibly personal, professionally, like my, I don't know, purpose in being, whatever, is that I wasn't willing to accept no for an answer. And I truly, honestly believe that in so many cases, there is a pathway forward, conservatively. And if there's not, then yeah, let's pull out. Let's pull in the surgeons. Let's let them do what they need to do, and then let's support that surgery, and see how far we can get there. And I just truly believe in the potential of our patients and our moms and what they can do. And so it just breaks my heart to have somebody that this is their first experience navigating prolapse and their GYN is shutting them down from the beginning. So my advice is this. Usually somebody who is saying that off the bat isn't necessarily coming from a place of knowing. Usually this is a very outdated, older outlook on prolapse and running, someone who is definitely not running informed. And so now you need to find a space and a place right here where that possibility exists. Those conversations can be had to be like, hey, what is the possibility here? What are the things that I can do to see how far we can get? So if you are listening to this and somebody has shut you down and said no, say thank you, because you're not going to be the person to change their mind. Go find somebody who's willing to have that conversation and see how far you can go. Have that person be running informed, have that person be collaborating with you to answer your questions, acknowledge your fears and vulnerabilities, and this is what could be good, this could be what's not good, and this is how we're going to play this. Like, have those big open-ended conversations, because that's how we move this stuff forward, and that's how we've continued to move it forward the past 25 some odd years. So anyway, if you are that person and somebody has shut you down, hop in the comments, let us know kind of what you thought about that, what you did with that, and then kind of any resources if you found any to move forward. And if you haven't, definitely hop in my DMs and we'll chat and see if we can find you some local resources or some good information. I'm happy to point you to any of blog posts that I have or posts or things like that to start to educate you and provide you some information that's actually much more evidence-based, and we're not trapped in circa 2001. So hop in.